So, you want to make trillions? Today I'll be telling you the methods I use to get a lot of honey. Unfortunately for me, I can no longer macro overnight due to the energy costs it takes, so can I get an F in chat for my macroing honey that I get like 1 trillion a night? And that's what this video is based around. It's partly because people are asking to see my macro settings, which I'll show you later, partly because I want to announce that I can no longer macro overnight, which is fine. I can still get a lot of honey from boosting and macroing during the day, just playing. However, it's going to be a lot worse. And also, I just want to make this video because a lot of people ask me how I make trillions, and the main way is because of macroing. Or that massive boost I did the other day. So this video, unfortunately, is mainly for blue hives. If you're red hive or white hive, I don't know enough about you really to help you too much. However, some of this stuff will obviously go for you. It's just I prefer blue hives, and also blue hive is the best one to go at the start, in my opinion, because it's the cheapest. So this video, I will be talking about ways to really help you macro, or ways to just help you get in honey in general. So let's start with the macroing stuff, because that stuff is kind of complicated and I will not be telling you how to download a macro today. However, what I will do is show you my macro. So I use nature macro. This one's completely allowed. By the way, macros are completely allowed in general. And I go to Pine Tree, and then you can copy these settings if you want. Some people ask for them. However, I just want to preface this in saying I don't think these are the best settings in the world. This video is purely made because it's what I do. Look at the pinned comment. I'll put any improvements I can do in the pinned comment. So please leave a comment down below and I'll update the pinned comment to add some new things. So this is what I've got. I'll slowly go through it. You really want the Mondo. This is our first thing. The Mondo buff is important because that gives you 10% extra pollen, and that can add up. 10% extra pollen will really just help you throughout the day, and I recommend you go with glue here, or any of the other ones that you want, but glue is the most important one, I think. Or you can do a bug run, but I have never done that, so I can't really help you do that. As I said, this is not a macro tutorial. This is just how I make money, okay? Beastmas, I have no idea actually how to do these ones, so please tell me down below if you know how to do these. It says reserve, so I assume maybe you need a better, you have to actually, donate to the macro, so I don't know how it works. If you go to boost, I don't do any of these, but you might want to, honestly, it might be a good idea to get this onto blue, so I can have a chance for Pinefield every now and again. However, I just don't mess with that. Quest, I don't mess with. Probably maybe should put Polar Bear on, because I do need a higher polar power. Plantus Plus, this is what I've got on. Honestly, I don't know too much about this, but I will tell you what I've got. I've got a Tacky Planter in Sunflower Field. I believe this is for, motivating. I'm not too sure. Actually, this is for satisfying. Satisfying is really important. I'll get to it later. We've also got one in Spider Field. We've got a pesticide one. Also, I'll get into these later. I'll get into the next part of it later. But this skit will give me motivating, as you can see here. I've got one in Pine Tree for the other one, which I don't actually remember what it is. Okay, it's comforting, that's what I remember. For a blue hive, the least important ones are the refreshing and invigorating. If you can get refreshing, however, invigorating is pretty useless for a blue hive, I believe. Don't take my word on that. For settings here, movement speed, you can just find out in this menu here. Just make sure you don't have any haste buffs. Move speed correction is good. And make sure, this is the most important part, your hive slot is filled in. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So I would put in hive slot 2, this guy would put in hive slot 1, and make sure you put your bees in as well. As I said, I don't have any way to really help you with this, because I'm not a pro at macroing myself. However, if you do need help, I would recommend asking people in Discord, because I have no real grasp on how the macro works or how to set it up properly. This is just me showing what I've got. Alright, let's get into nectars, as I said earlier. So, if you have the Plantus Plus enabled and everything, make sure you tick the box in the corner for Plantus Plus. It will, every now and again, harvest a, for example, the Tacky Plant, I'll just do it for as an example, and then you get satisfying nectar. Well, that's because I opened the Tacky Planter. However, it depends on which planter you've got and which field you've got in. Actually, I think it just depends on the planter. If you want the 3 that I've got, place 1 in Sunflower, 1 in Spider, and 1 in Pine Tree. That should get you, satisfying, motivating, and comforting. And those are the best 3 in my opinion for a blue hive. I'm pretty sure they are. Refreshing's not too bad for a blue hive, however, these are the best 3, and you can only have 3 plants at a time. The reason this one is so good is because of the honey at hive. The honey at hive bonus, basically, because of a blue hive, your main money is the balloons. It will give you bonus money, and that's how in my latest boost video, I got 5 times honey from a balloon which had 100 million. A balloon had 100 billion in, and I got 500 billion from it. This brings us nicely onto buoyant bees. For buoyant bees, currently my ratio isn't very good, because I'm only just really a blue hive. I want 20 buoyant bees. Once you've got all 50 slots, you want 20 buoyant bees to I don't know how many tadpoles, 10? I think it's 10. but I'm not too sure. So please leave that down below because that would help me. I'm pretty sure you just need a lot more buoyants and tadpoles. I'm pretty sure 10 tadpoles is enough to sustain, and the reason for this is because your balloon is the main way you make money. So, let me explain something about bubble bloat. So, when you're macroing as a blue hive, you may actually make less in the first few hours. And why is this? It's because you're building up a bubble bloat. Basically, if you have enough tadpoles, or if you're a poor person, if you've got enough bubble bees, you can build up a bubble bloat. And what this does is, I don't have one currently, however, it gives you extra field capacity and conversion rate. The most important thing about those two is the conversion rate, because if you're converting faster, you can get back to the field faster, and it's just basically convert rate equals more honey. And the way you get a bubble bloat is if you have a Supreme Star Amulet with Pop Star on. Once you get 30 bomb tokens, every bubble you pop will give you a bit of that multiplier, and also it will give you a temporary, like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times pollen. I'll try and get it here so I can show you. I'm about to get 30, and then my bubble bloat will start building. For me, it would take me like quite a while to build a 6 times bubble bloat. That's why macroing is kind of really good, because if you macro, get your bubble bloat really high, and then stay on and do the boost the next day and sustain the bubble bloat. As you can see here in the corner, I've got a bubble bloat going. If you sustain the bubble bloat, you can actually go do a boost with that bubble bloat without having to build one first. As you can see here, the bubble bloat is giving 1.12 times blue field capacity and a 1.13 times convert rate a hive, and this can go up to a 6 times. So you're converting 6 times as fast, and your convert rate and your field capacity is 6 times as high. So this is really just the best way. When macroing, building a bubble bloat will just make your honey go from around like 30 billion. Well, if you're at the same stage as me, basically the first few hours of a macro, I get like 30 billion an hour, maybe 50 billion an hour. Probably like 50 billion an hour actually, and then after a couple hours I start earning 110 billion per hour, leveling out at like 1 trillion per night. Not 1 trillion per hour, do not get that confused. And now I can't macro anymore, so turning a red hive is a good idea, however not yet. I know a lot of people, when I said that, maybe had a small heart attack. Don't worry, I know I need a lot of honey to turn red, and also I should be a lot higher level. I'm staying blue for now. Macroing is the main way this guy makes his money. By this guy, I mean blue hives make their money. It's just, I can't do it, but I can still make a lot of honey with it, and also I've already spent the last couple weeks making my hive more blue, getting a good Supreme Star Amulet. Go watch last video, and this video is probably getting quite long, so I should probably end it here. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're new. I really respect all you guys watching my videos. The support right now has been pretty crazy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Please leave any tips down below and check the pinned comment, okay, because the pinned comment might have some improvements.